MacVoices TV at Macworld 2010 is sponsored by Data Robotics, the makers of Drobo and Drobo S, the world's best data storage experience. Welcome to MacVoices TV at Macworld 2010. I'm Chuck Joyner, and we are in Moscone talking to Oliver Breidenbach of Boinx Software. But Oliver, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, I've been looking forward to this, about finding out Boinx coming again the whole way from Germany to show off what you're doing. I saw you at the Final Cut Pro Super Meet Friday night. What are you guys doing, showing at Macworld this year?
Oh, we have lots of activities. We are showing two new products that we've just released, PhotoPresenter 4 and Photomagico 3.1. We're doing something with the Macworld Expo, with the Macworld magazine guys and BoinxTV. And we have just so much fun on the show, and so many things that we are doing.
Oliver, it's been interesting to kind of watch you from afar, because it seems like you all have been involved in so many things this time at Expo. Like you say, I saw you shooting some things for, I think, Macworld TV with using BoinxTV, your software, and the Final Cut Pro Super Meet, and the booth, and, you know, I don't know, what else? I mean, everything. You're everywhere.
Yeah, well, not exactly. But yeah, the Final Cut Super Meet, Final Cut User Group Super Meet, we streamed that live with BoinxTV, so that everyone who couldn't make it to the Super Meet could watch the presentations. And we're going to do that again probably, or keep your fingers crossed, for NAB in April. And so that was the first thing, and we had to come early for that because they decided to move the Super Meet to the week before Macworld. And now on the show floor, we're working with the Macworld magazine guys on taping their interviews and stuff like that they do on their booth. And on our own booth we have a little we brought a little studio and a little soccer field that had to fit in the suitcase, so we had to shrink it down quite a bit, and we should be using that to demo BoinxTV. And we have a fairly early new version of BoinxTV with interesting new things. So if you are into BoinxTV and make it to the show, then you should come by our booth and ask us about this.
It's been interesting to watch BoinxTV evolve over the past year, because you and I talked about it last year, and I think it was relatively new at that point. But this year, it's gotten a lot more robust, and it's also been adopted by a lot more people. I'm seeing more and more people say, "Hey, I'm putting something up on Ustream, or I'm producing a show, and I'm using BoinxTV as the back end because there's a TV studio now in my Mac."
Yeah, I think I'm happy about that. We see the unofficial Apple weblog doing a live stream from the show floor with BoinxTV, and yeah, lots of churches, schools, enterprises, even some broadcasters picking it up, and so not surprisingly, a lot of people got it with the last Mac Heist package, and so we're pretty happy about the rate of adoption that we now see in BoinxTV.
When will the next version you were talking about showing some new things off, when will that be ready?
If I had a say in that, it would be ready tomorrow. But unfortunately, engineering is still engineering, and if everybody could do it quickly, then the price would go down, as you see on the iPhone App Store. And so it's not that easy, so it takes a little time, and I hope we will be able to ship it right about mid of this year.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so we have a little while to wait, but it gives us something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. You should enjoy it. And also, I think we're going to start a beta program as soon as possible, so that we can make sure that it's rock solid when it ships.
It's one of those things that I've learned ways to use it. Before I think I was viewing it as strictly a live production thing, but I'm finding ways to put it into my workflow, and I just need to spend more time with it because it's such a powerful program. It's not that difficult to learn, I think, the basics, but to really start to appreciate all the power under the hood, you got to spend a little time.
Yeah, that's true. Also, it's not only using the software. It's also creating a video podcast is really a big process, right? And so you don't only have to worry about the software you use. You also have to worry about the concept for the podcast, setting up your studio, writing a script, and all these kinds of things. And it's not that easy to do. So having a software tool that makes it easier is a great thing, but still you have to manage all the other stuff. And so people tend to download it and really take a long time before they make a decision in order to use it, and then eventually they do it because it's just so much fun and it's so powerful. But you need to wrap your mind around it, and that's probably the part that isn't exciting.
Well, I see. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think it is exciting because once you start to do video, you realize, I mean, we've all grown up watching TV, and there's so many production elements that you're used to seeing you don't really think about until you're the one creating it. And then all of a sudden, okay, I want to do lower thirds. I want to do fades and crossfades and wipes and titling and then, I got to go learn that. It doesn't just appear magically. I got to go do it. And that's where BoinxTV, I think, really shines, because it gives me access not just to the basics, but also to things that are a little more sophisticated. And you got to learn each piece of it.
It's what we call a very deep product. It's fairly easy and quick to get started, and it's a lot of fun, like photo booth. You sit in front of your computer and you just run it, and you fiddle around with the layers, and it's just so much fun to play with it. But then you have to figure out how to really put that to work, But I think it's a great thing also for education to learn, for the kids to learn about how to make TV, and how that's done, and they can really experience the whole thing. Not just we could write a script and then tape it or whatever. They can really add all the graphics, add a weather map, and all these things that you see from the big guys, and I think that's part of the fun. You can be the TV station.
Yeah, exactly. And the sad thing is, the kids are with no preconceived notions. They probably learn it faster than we do.
Absolutely.
Oliver, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why you're at Macworld. It's not like for you. You don't just drive across the street or even drive across the U.S. You come the whole way from Germany. You bring your full team, which I think at dinner the other night was like 8 people. So it's not a small endeavor for you. Why Macworld? Why do you think this is so important for you?
I think that the Mac community needs a place to meet and to exchange ideas, and I hope that the press and the multipliers and the kind of the people who are the focal points of the community, that they still see value in the show, so it's a big investment for us, but I think that this year is a unique opportunity for small guys like us, because I think suddenly we are in the top 10 interesting things to see on the show, and that spot used to be taken by Apple, right? The top 10 most interesting things on the show were usually on the Apple's booth, and so this year it's going to be very different for the small guys. I hope it's not too so that the industry makers and shakers lose interest, but I think companies like us, we can certainly provide exciting enough things, even if they not on par with an iPad, of course. But you can see an iPad on our booth, actually, a small one, which fits in the studio, that fits in the suitcase. But it's a start.
It's about this big by this big.
It's about this big by this big.
Well, it's interesting to hear you say that, because there's been so much talk about Macworld this year, and I like the idea that you're seeing it as the opportunity that I think it is. I think the people that are not here or decided not to exhibit are missing an opportunity, because there's not all the distraction by Apple and maybe by some of the larger companies, and now this is it. But you especially said something at dinner the other night I thought was interesting, and I'd like to ask you to repeat it if you can, and that is the randomness that happens here, just by the fact that you're here and everybody else is here, that you find new things, new opportunities occur that you really wouldn't have planned for, and maybe you definitely wouldn't have flown the whole way from Germany to meet with someone over.
Yeah, so I was talking about the chance encounters, right? People that wouldn't answer your phone, you might run into them. They might even come to your booth, see that you have something interesting, and so this is kind of where the value lies in a trade show, right? That you get to meet people that you don't probably already know. And of course, the people that you know, that's a unique opportunity to really meet a lot of them in a short time, face to face, and that's, I think that's very valuable, and it would be really not good for the Mac market and the community to lose this kind of opportunity.
I agree. I'm glad to see you here. I'll see you throughout the week, and I'm sure I hope to see you here next year.
This depends on certain things, how it pans out. But we made the decision to come here fairly late last year. But I'm glad that I made the decision. The trip is almost already worth it without the show even having started. We had a lot of interesting meetings all week, and that's why you come here. And the Super Meet was kind of a good start, and it got better since then. So I'm interested. I'm really curious to see what I think about it in 3 days' time. But I guess that it is really worth it for us to come here.
Well, it's really interesting. You say it's almost been worth it already, and the show floor, as we talk, has not even opened. So that says a lot about the power of Macworld and what it does and how it brings the whole community and the industry together.
Yeah. And also, I mean, part of it is that it's here in the area, so even if Apple doesn't show up, it's an opportunity for us not to have to travel 5,000 miles just to meet someone at Apple, and it is. I think it is very important that we have this event, but maybe we can. I already said that last year to Paul Kent. I don't think that it needs to be the same. Needs to have the same form all the time. So we could. But it should be some event where we have the chance to meet, and that needs to be interesting for all the people who should come, interesting enough to make the investment.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time. I know the booth is being set up, and you've got a few other things to do, but I really appreciate it. It's good to see you, and we'll see you on the show floor.
Thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the booth.
Absolutely. Good to see you, my friend. Take care. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices TV at Macworld 2010. We'll be back with more soon. Thanks for watching. MacVoices TV at Macworld 2010 is sponsored by Data Robotics, the makers of Drobo and Drobo S, the world's best data storage experience. MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.